Thank you for your time today and for allowing me to share a topic with you that is not only very close to my heart, but has a profound impact on my and many other lives every single day. I currently serve on the TRA Towing Safety Consortium and the TRA Executive Cabinet in collaboration with the TRA and other organizations. We are also working to prioritize federal legislative measures that promote and advocate for establishing federal move-over law provisions. I wanted to share that Congressman Jim McGovern has submitted on April 11th of this year the resolution, House Resolution 1052, which was referred to the Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure. And that's a big step when we deal with legislation. TRA has accomplished many strides forward, including promotions of Protecting Roadside First Responders Act, whose provisions address transportation matters relating to move-over laws and crash avoidance technology, as well as acting as the U.S. Government Accountability Office towing industry representative on the Emergency Responder Safety Report, a report which is critical step towards accomplishing one of TRA's primary goals, the passing of federal move-over law provisions. Next slide. First, allow me to share with you why this legislation is absolutely vital to me. In 2017, my son Bobby was struck and killed by a semi-truck, hitting him at 84 miles an hour. This semi failed to slow down, failed to move over while working as a tow operator responding to a roadway incident. Bobby was my only son. He was a father of three beautiful children. He was a brother, an overwhelming, amazing man and friend. Bobby's death impacted our community in a profound way. However, Bobby's death altered my life in an irrevocable way. The day Bobby was killed, I joined the unenviable ranks of parents who have lost a child, the unenviable number of families torn apart by tragedy. Bobby didn't have to die that day. The need to make sense of this death and the need to ensure their families are not impacted by this grief is what brings me here today, to relive the pain, the horror of that day all over again with you. The drive to ensure our first responders, our roadway warriors, our fathers, our mothers, our brothers, our sisters, our sons, and our daughters are no longer sacrificed to avoid avoidable and senseless tragedies. I continue to share his story. It's extremely impactful to let other people know that it can happen to you, it can happen to your families. And I'm voicing that in a way that I believe in my heart that if everybody joins together and unites to be a voice of slow down, move over, and get the word out, we can manage to have less or none tragedies like my son's. Slide 3. Currently, all 50 states recognize the move-over law, but awareness and adherence to these laws are still dangerously low. There's a startling data from AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety finds that among drivers who do not comply with move-over laws at all times, 42% thought this behavior was somewhat or not dangerous at all to roadside emergency workers. This demonstrates that drivers may not realize how risky it is for those working or stranded along highways and roads close to moving traffic. An average of 24 emergency responders, including tow providers, are struck and killed by vehicles while working at the roadside each year, meaning someone in this line of work is killed on average every other week. Nearly a quarter of those surveyed, 23%, are unaware of the move-over law in the states where they live. And among those who are aware of their state's move-over laws, about 15% report not understanding the potential consequences for violating the move-over law at all. Since my son's death, which has been about 5 years, I've joined different places, different doors that have opened for me, and I joined AAA on a traveling show that joined the national headquarters and shared different states with their employees of Bobby's message and his story and the importance of slow down, move over. And also where I can open doors to share TIM training. I think that in our line of work, TIM training is going to save lives. And I will fight that fight until we have no loss, zero loss. I also participated in a case study involving multiple universities that reenacted my son's accident based on a reconstruction team report. And they continue to put the information together, and it'll be interesting to know what they come up with that. I was also was asked by CNBC to share a public service announcement on Slow Down, Move Over, referring the message to my son Bobby's accident, and that was on a national level. I now currently work with Allstate, and I do a safety checkpoint that I share with them on training and to train operators in a safer manner, and also include TIM training to be able to put that in place. I also share articles on women in business and share the knowledge on how to be successful as a female in the towing industry. And I believe that we've had a lot of women in our industry throughout the years, but they're kind of a quiet voice. And now I believe that they're out there making a difference for this industry. There's a lot of times that they're at the core of the company. And I'm happy to say that the voice of the women, especially for me, because when I started there was very few, and I've always shared to be a voice in the industry, even though it was a man's world at the time. But I can share with you that I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't the men and women that have united in my world to make me who I am today. I also wanted to share, I did the Colorado Traffic Management and TIM training, and I did a presentation, was a keynote speaker on Bobby's Law also. So the next, there's a great deal more that I can share, but those were the key ones for me. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is the stats on the names. I believe that this is very powerful. that's way more names than we need to have listed. There's it can be an unfortunate side effect of seeing these stats laid out for us year over year, that eventually these men and women simply become another number, but to their families, to their communities, to those who love them, they're just not another data point. They were the loved one's life, someone's single parent, someone's only child, someone's best friend, someone's everything. So I believe that all of you that are listening to me, we can absolutely become ambassadors to strive to do better for them, to push for the better safety of our roadways, for our responders. As for my son, all I can say is that I'll continue to share his message, his story, and hopefully that you that are listening out there can join me to make that difference and be the voice and to unite as a nation to make a difference, because all of us can make that change. We just have to voice it in every aspect of our lives. Because at the time when I started towing, I remember that it was courtesy to slow down, to move over, and we didn't have this problem. So the distracted driving is a big issue, and again, let's become ambassadors to make that difference and continue to fight for TIM training in our industry, because the education of TIM training is going to save lives. Thank you again for your time today, and God bless you all.